Government is working around the clock to make sure water tanks are delivered to all schools before Monday's reopening. The province is chasing a target of 756 schools that are without water. For the latest on the delivery and state of readiness of schools in that province, we cross to our reporter, Busisiwe Jemsana-Mantashe, who is with the Superintendent General of the Education Department, Themba Kojana. Busisiwe, a very good morning to you. What can you tell us this morning?
Very good morning, Desiree. Certainly time is ticking, and for the province of the Eastern Cape, it's not a matter of delivering water tanks only. You have areas where there is no water at all. That would mean you'd need to work with municipalities, service providers to make sure that there is water in those water tanks. So we've had reports in some communities where there were tanks that were delivered, but for months there's not been water. Of course, drought also having a role to play in the whole issue of things. But let's talk to the SG of the department, Themba Kojana. SG, thank you so much for your time. I know when we spoke 2 days ago, you had already delivered about 400 water tanks, but it's not only about the delivery of these tanks. You need to make sure that they are connected and they have water. To date, HOD, how many tanks can you say have been delivered and are connected and have water?
No, thank you very much. We have progressed quite very well. The Department of Water and Sanitation gave a good report yesterday, and even at night they were mounting these water tanks, and I'm excited about the pace at which the Department of Water and Sanitation are partnering with the department in ensuring that we are ready for the opening of school come on Monday. So out of that 753 schools that were spoken about, more than 600 schools are, I think, would be completed by Sunday. In fact, by Saturday, we'll be talking a different story because they're working even at night. They're not only delivering those tanks, they're filling the tanks with water. As I said, that our schools receive funds for norms and standards so that as and when they can be able to purchase water because they've got funds in our schools. So I'm excited about the pace of the delivering of the tanks and the partnership that we have, the integrated approach that we have with the Department of Water and Sanitation.
Of course, water goes hand in hand with sanitation, and you did announce that schools that are without proper ablution facilities will not open come Monday. How many schools are we talking about, and have you been in consultation with those schools and parents at large to say these schools will not be opening on Monday? They will need to be directed to nearby schools.
No, thank you very much. As you know that we did get a lot of support, as I indicated to you, that we've got 3 projects that are really focusing on building our sanitation. And I did mention to you that those schools are at level 5, they won't open completely. And I think you must appreciate the fact that during this period of the lockdown, nothing was happening. But now we've decided to write letters now to contractors to say, please go back to those schools so that you can complete the project around sanitation so that nothing can stop. But as you know, we said that those schools that don't have sanitation, we've decided to say that they're at level 5, let's close them because you cannot expect our children to be there. So that the communication has gone out. Already all the district directors know, all our communities already know. And principal of school have already shifted those learners to the nearby school. So that is something that has already happened as I'm speaking to you. Because I can even tell you the number of schools that we have cleaned already, ready to accept our children come next week. We've got more than 4,502 schools that by now have got their PPEs for teachers, and also providing, remember that in the Eastern Cape we've got your school support teams. The school support teams have been trained now to ensure that, one, they clean the school. That's why we say that there is a lot of progress of cleaning, because we said we are now recruiting people within that community to come in and support our teachers, our schools, our school governing body to ensure that our schools are clean, to ensure in between they do screening and they are able to monitor social distancing.
And lastly, SG, when you talk about social distancing and the training, in some schools that we visited, they were not sure in terms of the orientation, what teachers are expected to do on Monday. Are they going to be teaching with their masks on? They are not sure what is expected of them, as orientation has not yet been done in those schools. Come Monday, will we be having everyone ready, knowing what to do and the line of march?
Certainly. You know that we started training our principals, and that training went well. And we started training our school management team because all our circuit managers were trained. So that orientation has started and is ongoing. We are busy now training our teachers as we speak, so that come Monday, there's no confusion. But we know that because there's this element of fear factor, there's this element of reluctance, we will be continuing with training of some of the teachers come Monday, as well as learners, because the training manual has been completed. In fact, we've got two modules. One module is talking more about the COVID itself, and the second module is talking about how you should conduct yourself during COVID, even in schools. So those two modules are quite tight, and they are not just in terms of paper. We have ensured that it is loaded into the principals' computers, because all our principals have got computers, all our teachers have got computers. We load it there so that it is easy for them to really train our learners. On Monday, as I'm saying, all learners that day will be set aside for really ensuring that we orientate our children. You remember, I said also to yourself, our psychosocial support has been intensified. We have ensured that our psychologists are ready to ensure that we support both our teachers and learners should they be expected or should they experience some form of distress. That psychosocial support is already ready come Monday.
Ashi, thank you so much for your time. Well, Desiree, the SG of the Eastern Cape Education Department, they're sounding excited and ready for Monday, saying that they've done all they can and they continue to tighten loose screws so that they are ready for Monday. We'll be keeping a closer eye from now up until Monday, and certainly visiting schools to find out if indeed what the SG is saying is happening on the ground, if schools have PPEs, if tanks are connected and actually have water, so that come Monday, teaching and learning will continue, or next week, because as you've heard, that Monday will be set aside to orientate learners who will be going for teaching to schools about what is expected, social distancing, and how they best keep safe in these trying times. Desiree, it's back to you in studio right now.
Busisiwe Jemsana-Mantashe there.